Hey everybody, welcome to the Slick Tree Podcast. I'm your host, Colby Langford. The point of this show is to help improve ourselves as dogmen and to raise the quality of the dogs on the end of our lead. So let's settle in, turn the volume up, and let's see if we can't learn a trick or two together from our guests.
Because that's kind of like that's what instilled it in me. That's where the spark started. When I was a kid, my dad, my uncle, my grandfather on the other side of the family, they all fought game chickens, and there was a man in town in the community that his name was Prentice Jones, and he was thought of as like a master breeder. Like he was the guy that had some of the best chickens, and that's who you wanted to go to get them from. And we'd stop by there periodically and go out there and look at his yard. And he had a family of Kelsos, which is a type of game rooster. And one of them had a white wing feather. And he told my dad, he said, you see that feather right there? He's like, yeah. He's like, I'm going to have a family of Kelsos that come white. I'm going to make them. And in a few years, he had a family that bred true that were solid white. And it amazed me. And he had different families of birds like this. And like you could just tell, like those birds were, they come from Prentice and they were uniformed and cookie cutter. And it almost like he had a mystique about him. Like it was a special thing. Like when you go to Prince's house, because you knew like you might get something like really nice or whatever. And so that just kind of, I don't know, like started the spark with genetics. And then later on when I got hooked up with Jody Mullins, his breeding philosophy, and I guess we befriended each other. And then I kind of adopted his breeding philosophy, and the different books that I read kind of mirrored that as well. Like I'm a big proponent in inbreeding and line breeding. I think you go in until it quits working, and when it quits working, you go out, and then you go back in till you go wherever the power's at is where you'd go back to, and maybe even if you have a hole. So if your line is super good, like in all aspects, but is missing this one thing, let's say it's size or maybe mouth or whatever this one characteristic is that your family of dogs doesn't have. So you could either keep breeding and hope that a throwback shows up. So let's say it's size. You're like, man, my line just comes a little small, and you're wanting 45-pound dogs instead of 30-pound dogs. So you can keep breeding and hope that a bigger dog comes out, and then you can line breed that or whatever. Or so either like a throwback or possibly a genetic mutation that actually breeds true. Or you can make an outcross to something that complements your line. So something that has some of the same characteristics that your line has, but it has that extra size. And you can get it right now. You can breed to it and get it right now. Or if you're relying on a throwback or a genetic mutation, that might take 2 generations or 3 or 10 or never. It might never show back up. So you do the outcross, get your size, and go right back into your line. Bob Whaley was a master at this. The guy that started the LQ pointers, and for those that don't know, LQ is Whaley spelled backwards. So that's what he would do. He would breed in for long periods of time and then make these outcrosses to add something to his line. And and he really didn't care as far as the outcross that he made. He didn't necessarily care what their pedigree was. So like he would and they would call these dogs sports, like the freaks. So like back in the day, they would call them sports, or like the freaks, the once in a lifetime, the super dogs. He would he would make an outcross to this super dog that may or may not have been any relation to his, to see if he couldn't get whatever they had that was special. And and most of the time it did not work. But when it did, he just kept line breeding and kept it in his line. If it didn't work, he moved those dogs and did not continue to breed to them. They might not have been bad dogs, but they weren't up to his standard. So he moved them and didn't continue with that line. That's my philosophy. Line breeding, make outcross from here and there, and then go back into your power.
Everybody that's out there, you are listening to the Slick Tree Podcast. I'm your host, Colby Langford, and today we have a very familiar voice with us, and that is Shane Mason. How you doing today, Shane?
I am on top of the world, Kobe. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I've been listening to you and Cody's podcast, the Plus Up podcast, quite a bit lately, and I've really been enjoying it. And you talk genetics on there quite a bit, and so
Mhm.
I've been wanting to get you on here, and I appreciate your time to come on here, and we're gonna talk a little bit about genetics today for everybody. Well, hopefully I can learn something, and that's kind of the goal is to drag everyone else along with me.
That sounds great. And listen, like so, I haven't read like these genetic books that I might reference here and there. I haven't read back through them in several years, like say 4 or 5 years. So anything I say, you should fact check it. Actually, anything that anybody says on these podcasts, you should fact check. Do not take it as a gospel. Fact check and make sure it's correct. But yeah, I love genetics. I love the concepts and the philosophies surrounding genetics. And there's people that breed loose. They just breed best to best, and have some success with it. But if you bred best to best and it made the best, everybody would have the best. Like it, you wouldn't have these people that are master breeders. Like everybody could just be a master breeder. Uh, breeding is an art. Genetics is a science, and breeding is an art. And there's some people that are just absolutely phenomenal at breeding great dogs, and there's some people they just they never quite get it. Uh, and you know having a good eye for selection, and knowing the family, and knowing that like what traits generally breed true, uh, like it is a big advantage. And like these master breeders that have a family of dogs, a whole line of dogs, they know them in and out. Like Jody's told me, you remember that puppy I had that had the three spots on his back left foot, and I sold it when it was 4 months old. And I'm like, no, I do not remember that dog. And but they have such an eye for everything. And and whenever you're looking at these dogs, at these puppies, you look at their feet, and you look at their eyes, and you look at their nose, and you look at their tail, and you look at their butthole, you look at everything, like you're looking at everything. And and these guys that have the eye for selection, they can look at a litter of pups and they can see what they favor. Like they can pick out the best pup in a couple seconds. And it's just a gift. Like some people got it and some people don't.
I've always kind of wondered about like how much there is a crossover between the physical traits and the like if you look at a dog and it looks just like its sire, like what are the odds that it's going to act more like its sire, or are those two connected? Do you think that much?
No, I do. So I think so. There are certain traits that so it's the genotype and the phenotype that are connected. Like in general, a shorter eared dog, like so in a hound, like a walker dog, like and it's kind of a like a wives' tale or whatever. But like the longer eared dogs are generally a little slower on track than the shorter eared dogs. In like in hounds, um, in general, your prick-eared dogs do not have as good of a nose. They're not as cold of a nose as some of your longer-eared dogs in general.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think some of those uh, carry some weight. Like I don't know all of them, and uh, and then there's exceptions to every rule. That there might be a prick-eared dog out there that's got as cold of a nose as anything ever, but most likely not. Uh, and something else too, like some of your cold nose stuff, or what is considered a cold nose. Like so, you have a dog that comes through and he smells up this tree, looks up, it's a den tree. He looks and goes on. It wasn't enough there for him to tree on it. And then this other dog comes in and smells the tree and just blows up on it. A lot of people says that second dog has a better nose. Well, that dog's just got a way better nose than the other dog. Maybe, maybe he does, but maybe he don't. Did you produce any game out of that tree? Well, no, I didn't. There's nothing there. Well, maybe the other dog's got a better nose. Like he knew there was nothing there, and he moved on. And this other dog didn't have enough sense to figure out that whatever he smelt is not there anymore. Like like maybe he has a better nose, but maybe he doesn't.
Maybe he was
Uh,
trained to tree on something with a old
true,
scent.
true. And some dogs, especially these hounds, they pull the trigger so fast, uh, and that's advantageous to a comp hunt. So, and this is just Shane Mason belief. Uh, for a competition dog, priority number one is get treed. Number two is stay treed. Number three is have the squirrel. Number four would be foot speed, uh, maybe heart. So then five might be foot speed. Uh, and that's on a competition dog. On a hunting dog, on a pleasure dog, squirrel dog, my my number one thing is heart, not quitting. So if I want to hunt for 3 hours or 4 hours or whatever, that is gonna keep going. It might slow down a little bit, but it keeps going. Number two would be have a squirrel. Would be accuracy. Like I don't need to just go to empty trees. Number three would be get treed. Like I don't mind them gambling some, but get treed. Number four would be stay treed, and then probably number five would be foot speed. Uh, so it's a little bit different when you're comparing the two. One thing like the hunting, uh, the pleasure side of it, or the comp side of it. Like you're looking for two different things. And like with me, like I do both. So I'm like I'm like mixing it all together. And sometimes I have one that's a way better comp dog and not as good of a pleasure dog. And sometimes I have some that are way better pleasure dogs and not as good as comp dogs.
let's go ahead and jump a little bit more into the genetic side of things. How
Yep.
how up are you on Mendelian genetics and talking about that side of things?
I mean, I can talk about it. So like my Bible, as far as dog breeding, the book that I go to, and if it's in this book, it's the gospel to me. It's How to Breed Dogs by Leon F. Whitney. He was a veterinarian back in the 20s. At Like all the books that I read, like the genetics books that I really like got a lot out of, they were referencing this book. So I found this book online and ordered it, and it just kind of like it reaffirmed a lot of stuff uh, that I already believed and taught me a ton. I bought this book in 7/20 of 2007, and I'd already read a handful of genetics books before it, but this one was was a one that really uh you know sh- like struck a chord with me, I guess. Um, but his name was Gregor Mendel, and there's a whole chapter in this book that talks about him. I haven't read it in quite a while, but I can speak on it a good bit. You know, he was a geneticist that bred fruit flies, and that's kind of how he started, or that's kind of like where all of his research was coming from. And but the like genetics is genetics. And like one thing applies to say fruit flies or corn, but it also applies to mammals as well. Uh, I'm not saying it's an X and Y chromosome on everything, but a lot of the principles apply the exact same way. And like the Punnett square, if you know these traits, or if you know the I guess the gene configuration that these dogs are throwing, like what the gene is, um, you can figure almost to a T of what that litter's going to throw. Now, I don't know that. Like, I don't know all the color differentiations and uh, I don't know what all genes is associated with treeing. I suspect it's a recessive gene, but maybe it's a dominant gene in some animals. Like uh, maybe like in like collie dogs. Like I've seen a bunch of those farm dogs tree, and like they've never been bred to tree, but they do, and some of them tree really well. Uh, but so I can talk about uh, Mendelism, or like I'm not even sure how you pronounce it, but I can talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, it I was kind of flipping through. I've got that How to Breed Dog books. I picked it up on your recommendation off your podcast here a while back, and I hadn't really even had a chance to open it yet. I just got it a week or two ago in the mail, and which I had I think it was an anatomy and physiology in high school class that I remembered talking about genetics quite a bit in, and I remembered about Punnett squares and dominant and recessive genes and how they kind of can go back and forth. And like I was looking at colors, like that's colors a really easy thing to like. A lot of these
Hmm.
traits, like the treeing trait and kind of the hot versus cold nose or winding nose versus tracking nose, like those aren't something that you can really just look at a dog and see. Uh, I
Right.
mean, you can
That.
hunt with them and figure it out, but it's not as obvious as like what color is that dog. Uh,
Yeah.
and that's kind of a good way to explain it as far as is looking at something by color, because like in this book it it breaks it down. Uh,
Yeah, they have a couple pages of breeding, like I think like breeding guinea pigs.
yeah,
They had
yeah,
like
I'm looking at it
so
right now. Guinea pigs.
yeah, yeah. So like they had. and is the way it's broke down is it's not super complicated. So like like it helps me understand it because it's only like two different colors. It's a black and a white,
Mm-hmm.
and they cross them, and they cross them different ways, and some of them like I can't remember if it's black or white that was dominant over the other, but one's a carrier. So
Mm-hmm.
like it might be, let's say a black, like a black dog or something like that, and he's dominant black from his mom and his dad. A dog's got 20,000 genes. He's gonna pass 10,000 of them. Uh, but he might have a brother that's solid black, just like him, but he's a recessive. He's carrying one dominant black gene and then a recessive gene for something else. So then when he's crossed to a female that has that recessive gene and she throws that and he throws it, then they have a dog that comes out a totally different color. If we're just talking about straight colors, like
Mm-hmm.
there's one gene for one color. There's different modifier genes and it gets super complicated. But like with those guinea pigs, it's black and white. And like some of them will be, I think if I'm not mistaken, like some of them even have a short hair and wire hair and like a medium coat. And if you could cross maybe like two long hairs and you actually get like a short hair, but you couldn't take two short hairs and get like a long hair. It's like with roosters, if you have two straight cones, like a straight cone hen and a straight cone rooster, they'll never throw a peacocke because the straight cone is recessive. And if it shows straight cone, they have straight cone on both sides. Now you can take a peacocke hen and a peacocke rooster and throw straight cone stuff or peacocke stuff. But because one's dominant and one's recessive, if you got two recessive, it shows and it will throw that every time because it has to. That's the only thing it can throw.
Yeah. I was kind of thinking about this, getting ready for this podcast to kind of break it down for which I know both of us apparently have studied into this enough to kind of understand, but for someone that hasn't, I mean, it probably sounds like we're kind of speaking French uh, about a lot of this stuff. But so, like, if you think about it like this, like every one of your cells in your DNA, or every one of your cells has the nucleus and it's got the DNA in it. Well, whenever your reproductive organs go to make a sperm or an egg, basically what happens is all your DNA is wrapped up into chromosomes, and each chromosome is two parts and a half. So like, what is it? People have, was it 21 or 20? I forget how many. Dogs have 39 pairs of chromosomes. So
Yeah.
whenever your body's making reproductive cells, those chromosomes split in half, and one half goes to one sperm, the other half goes to another sperm. So each cell is
Yes.
broken into two. So you could, and it's not like it's a hard split. Well, these ones all go to this side, and these ones all go to this side. They kind of mix each other up. So like you can have two eggs that were made from two different cells, or four eggs made from two different cells, and it's not like the eggs are all carbon copies of each other. There's these eggs that are the same, and these eggs are the same because the chromosomes don't split up the same way every time. So
Correct. It's like having 20,000 marbles in a bowl, and it's different color marbles. You got all different color marbles. It's 20,000 in a bowl, and then this other like his mate has 20,000 marbles in a mold. Well, it can pass 10,000 of those, and then it's over here can pass 1,000 of those. So like every time it can pass 10,000, like it's a different variation of it.
mm-hmm.
Like that's why like inbreeding and getting those genes, line breeding a family, getting those genes homogeneous. That's why walker dogs are walker dogs because those genes are homogeneous. They they have been selectively bred to look like that. That's why blue ticks look like blue ticks. That's why boxers look like boxers, because those genes are homogeneous. If they were heterogeneous, you could take a boxer and breed together and they'd come out looking like a poodle. Well, they don't do that because they've been selectively bred, and like the ones that did not meet the breed standard get pushed out, and the ones that did carry on that type, that family, that line, and and eventually, once they're aligned for so long, they've eventually become a breed, and and it breeds true. Like they're not like these. A lot of these cur dogs don't breed true because they haven't been selectively line bred for generations. They're kind of mixed up. So when you take something mixed up and something mixed up and you cross them, you know, like you know, like Forrest Gump said, life is like a box of chocolates. Well, life's like a litter of cur dogs. Like you never know what you're going to get. You might get some with some rough hair. Like there's been several rough coated dogs. I know I know guys right now that shave their dogs. Once a year they shave them. Like coming off of winter, they'll shave them to make them slicker haired. Uh, there's been some famous dogs that like really good like winning dogs that were kind of wire haired, but they clipped them so you couldn't really tell. Uh, but then they might have a litter mate that never that was not wired haired and never threw wired haired, never, and a full litter mate brother to them. Like it's it's pretty complex, and that's why you can get away with like doing like breeding different ways. Like there's a lot of people that they just breed to the best thing that's out there, and then they might have a female that, and they go carry it to something else, not even totally related to them. It's just the next best thing that's winning, and they just hop around and you will get some moderate success like that. Uh, but I don't think it breeds as true. I don't think you. I think a man would be more successful with a trying to develop a pure line of dogs.
Hmm.
But I might be wrong. Like it's hard to say because there's success on both sides of that.
Have you done quite a bit of dog breeding yourself?
I have, and I've been around a good bit of it. Like Jody Mullins and me have been best buds for almost 20 years, and like I raised Mullins Feist and hunted. I felt like I was like the protector, like I was the full ambassador of Mullins Feist for several years. Um, and they were never bred for competition style. They were bred for treeing squirrels and killing squirrels, and there is a difference. Uh, there a lot of times the difference between a comp dog and a pleasure dog is just the way they're trained. With the smaller dogs like the feist dogs, they do not have quite as big of a mouth, even though Jody's line of dogs had really big mouths for their size, um, and they had a lot of go. So in a hunt, if I'm hunting in a all open hunt, and my feist dog, my Mullins feist, he goes 800 yards in trees down here in the flatland, I might can still hear him. Uh, by itself, I can hear him fine. Now you add two other dogs that are not as far; they're in between, and they're big mouth dogs, a walker dog and a tree and cur, and they're treeing at the same time, and it's very hard to get that dog treed in because he does not, his mouth is not as loud, it doesn't carry as far. Or if you're in, let's say, Kentucky somewhere, and your dog is two hollers over, and you're in another holler, and he's treed, and he won't leave the tree, like he might be treed over there for 45 minutes, and you're trying to get to him, but the other dogs in the cast, you're just walking them over squirrels, and they're getting treed, and you're trying to get to the top of a ridge to hear him. Like it's just it's just some disadvantages to it. So if I was just pleasure hunting, I'd still be raising mullins or mullins crosses. Since I'm comp hunting too, and I'm comp hunting, you know, everywhere. Uh, like I need something a little bigger. So, but I've been around on several different crosses. Jody's made some super crosses. Wade had a 3/4 Mullins female, and uh, his dad said, "You need to go back whoever bred these dogs. You need to go back and breed to that. Like keep it in the family." He's a big proponent of the LU pointers, which are super line bred, and so he did. That's how he got in contact with Jody, and that's how Wade and me met was up there with Jody. But he made that cross, and he told him what this dog was out of. Jody hunted with her. That was Sassy, showstopper Sassy, and the Jody said I would breed her to my slick dog, and did, and raised like that first litter. Wade had 3 or 4 of them get killed by a coyote coming. The puppies were running loose. A coyote coming in his yard and uh, caught a couple of them in like a couple different days. But anyway, Diesel, showstopper Diesel, uh, really not even arguably the best feist ever. Like he is the goat of feist as far as like his body of work and what he's done in open hunts and 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 the feist hunts. Uh, just a super dog. But that was from a line bred, planned out breeding. Um, I've made several crosses that worked good, and made several crosses that did not work. That were maybe even two line bred. Like so, like if you take a a natural bob male and you cross it with a natural bob female, especially if they're short, if they're what we call frog butted, like the bobtail so short it doesn't have a digit. It's just a patch of skin back there. It doesn't really even wag. Uh, if you take a real short bobtail and cross it to another really short bobtail, you can breed the last vertebrae out of those puppies. They'll be paralyzed and hobbled in the back end. Uh, you can go too much where they'll be uh, like nearsighted, so that like you can see them. They're like they can't see that well, and or like I've seen them. I've seen them born with 3 toes. Like so, you can go too far with it, but that's on selection. Like so you you don't want to select bad traits. Like if a dog's showing something bad, like mm, I'm not saying not breed it because it might not breed true. Uh, everything's an experiment, but like you can definitely go too deep with the line breeding and breed some bad traits will show up.
I have heard that with the line breeding, you have to be really careful about any undesirable traits. You're not just doubling up on what's good that you like there. You are also doubling up on anything that's bad there as well. And
A
I've
hundred
heard
percent.
that can
It
really
comes
come
up.
back.
Yeah, it like the good and bad shows up fast. So it shows up and you do away. I'm not saying you kill them, but you do not breed to that. Like whatever the bad is, you that goes out the window, and you carry on with the good.
So, like for an example,
And
like say you had a dog that was just kind of a shy puppy of the litter, anyways. Uh,
mhm,
like arguably maybe shyer than it should be. Uh,
yeah,
Probably wouldn't want to line breed that back to something out of that same line that was close, maybe, or what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah. So if you're breeding competition type dogs, no, you do not. You want a bold dog that's bulletproof, that's not um that doesn't get affected by anything. You want them to have good days, be in a good mood all the time, bold, courageous. Like that's the type, because you're putting them in different environments all the time. So, but like say 50 years ago, where there wasn't tracking colors and whatnot, and there wasn't like the competition was not like it is now, and like they're just meat dogs and pleasure dogs. Well, you might want a dog that's a little bit standoffish. So that way, if your dog's treeing, somebody couldn't steal it off a tree.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, like like there's been times where people wanted some, like you just think about their job. Like, so like the dog was a protector of the family. It stayed in the yard. Yeah, yes, it would tree game, but it would also act as a guard dog. Like you don't want just a lovey dovey, dog that's just going to run up there and be your buddy. Uh, if you're needing a guard dog of some sorts. So there has been times where people would even breed that way. That like I know for a fact there was people that liked a standoff dog. Like uh and early on, like Jody told me that people like they liked that. Like that's what they looked for. They didn't want a dog that would just go up to everybody. Like they wanted something that would, you know, if you stick your hand in the truck would bite you, like take off a finger or something. Uh,
I heard that Bonnie
but
Betty dog was like that.
the which one?
The Bonnie Betty dog.
Oh, I don't. I'm not even familiar with Bonnie Betty.
She's a Hall of Fame CBA dog.
Okay, okay, yeah. So if you think, and like here's something that goes back to genetics. So a buddy of mine, his name's Reese Lewis. He's from Magnolia, Arkansas. I used to rent a farmhouse from him. Uh, he was really really big into the OMCBA dogs when he was in high school and early on. His dad was really big into it, and he he's got a dog in the original Mountain Cur Hall of Fame. His name Lewis's Tree Jim and Cooner, and I hunted with a dog he had that was a world champion. Her name was Brandy. But anyway, he's got these books, and it's just all these old pictures of these cur dogs that come off of Kings Mountain in Tennessee, like from Jimmy Hoover and like those, like I think a Ledbetter, like those the original foundation stuff. And those dogs, like there's one that had a full tail, flag tail, and had a tip on the end like a collie dog. Uh, they were coarser haired. Some of them looked like plots, like just like I mean like a plot. Uh, but just a different looking dog. And then, and according to him, like they looked like that until Streak. When Streak hit the scene, and Streak's supposed to be half Mullins or half Feist or whatever. When Streak hit the scene and everybody started breeding to him, it changed the whole look of the OMCBA dogs. And even, man, even like in '08, like '07, '08, I went to a couple competition hunts in Louisiana. And this was like the Bayou State Squirrel Dog Association was like the biggest squirrel dog association in the country or in the world for that matter. Uh, they would have 50 and 60 dogs at these hunts. Uh, and man, you talk about they were, most of them were red and ring necked, and you'd be a couple blonde dogs that were Kimmer, and you'd see some brindle dogs, but like the Busher stuff and all that heavier brindle looking dog, you didn't see a whole lot of it. They were red ringneck dogs and smaller. And now you don't see as much of that. Like a lot of these dogs are bigger, and you see more brindle. Like there's a bunch of brindle dogs now, and this is just anecdotal, local. This is not like I might be, it might be off a good bit as far as the whole breed of dog, but it just seems like they're a little bigger now, a little houndier, and not as like not showing like the feistier characteristics as what they were in 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Well, I would think that would probably be due to someone slipping a little hound in here and there, maybe trying to build a little better
Well,
comb dog.
well, you think about this. So, how long have curs been bred to tree squirrels? Well, 50 years? I don't know. How long have they been bred for competition? Half that? Or how long have Walker dogs been bred for competition? Oh, man, probably 100 years. Like, like they have characteristics that are advantageous to winning a competition because of the way the rules are.
Billy Coleman was hunting against him.
And, uh, who's Billy Coleman?
Where the Red Fern grows.
No, I got man. You know how long it's been since I seen that movie? Oh, yeah. So like, so when was that book wrote? When was the Red Fern Groves? When was that book wrote?
I couldn't tell you off the
Uh,
top of my head.
like, so they were competition hunting then. Uh, so like these dogs, like the hounds have been bred for a competition, uh, way longer than the cur and feist have. So just like I was saying earlier, you can keep breeding one way and hope for a throwback or a genetic mutation to where your dog like trees faster, pulls pulls the trigger a little quicker, got a bigger mouth. You can hope and pray for that, or you can breed to this Walker dog that a guy's got down the road that's done won $20,000, and you can get it instantly. And so like I have a tree and curve, my Megatron dog. He's 5/8 Walker, a quarter bird dog, and an eighth mountain cur. And if you look at him, you say, "Oh, that's a cur dog." He's brindle, bobtail, not a natural bob, but brindle, bobtail, and can tree a pile of squirrels. Uh, so you can hide. So let's say you're wanting to hide that tricolor, you can hide that Walker gene uh, pretty easily.
Brindle covers a lot.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can get rid of brindle too. Like you can get rid of it. Like it so brindle might be recessive because you can get rid of it easy. Uh, you can get rid of the tricolored easy. Like that yellow, in his different modifiers of yellow, like the red dogs, that's still yellow. It's just a darker, a darker variation of that color. But like from a pale yellow, because a pale yellow is almost white, but it's not white. So a pale yellow to a dark red is that's all the
Yellow, or that red to yellow, is the same gene. It just has a different modifier on that, or how does that work?
that's what Jody told me. Like I don't know. He's been breeding. He was part of the original Mountain Cur. Uh, I think he had a subscription or a membership for 20 years. Uh, he actually had another line of dogs too that him and his friend made. They were a cur type dog, but they were black and tans, but not like your black and tan hounds. They were a shorter eared, real cat footed, uh, and they're coon dogs. He coon hunted them. I would suspect. Now he didn't tell me this, but I would suspect very similar to like the Stevens curs.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but they were black and tan, and he bred them for years. I don't know what they were called, or they might not have been called anything. I don't know. I don't know how they were registered or if they were registered, but I know he had some. Uh, but yeah, he told me that they pale yellow to dark red is all the same color. It's just like a different modifier gene that makes it dark or light or whatever.
Hmm.
Because you can have a dog that's a ringneck dog or white, and it'll have like a blanket back of that off white, and then like a ringneck of white and a white chest, and like you might not can tell it until you get in a certain light or you wash them up really good or whatever, and then you could tell a contrast there. Uh, but that pale yellow and the dark red is all the same color, or maybe not the dark red, but the red. So like back in the day, they didn't on papers they didn't put red dog, they put yellow, medium yellow, dark yellow. So a dark yellow dog would be, or dark yeller. They might even say yeller, but a dark yellow dog would be like what we would probably call a red dog now.
Yeah. What? Let's jump back, talk about Megatron for a second.
Yeah,
He's got my interest just because the litter of pups I've got at my house right now, they're the same 5/8 Walker, quarter English Pointer, eighth Mountain Cur mix that he is. Which, I mean,
yeah,
different blood from all over, but same
right.
same
And
fractional.
yours, yeah, and yours, you didn't like yours is cookie cutter. Like I'm gonna tell you, that litter of pups that you have is probably the best looking litter of squirrel hounds that I've ever seen. Like they are gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous, and cookie cutter, very uniformed. Uh, and what you did, you kind of done the same way. Like that's out of Messiah, you went right back to that side and bred to Romeo, which is Messiah's nephew. Uh, I love that cross, and in fact, I was man that liver female you got is so pretty. I was really wanting her. I just I don't think I would do her any justice, and I reached out to you like, hey, what are you gonna do with that liver spotted female? If somebody, she's spoken for, and then I messaged you right back and like, man, like I love the look of that dog, but uh, I've got a litter of pups. I do not like. I've got 3 kids, young kids. I do not need. Uh, I don't need another puppy. But man, like the part of me really, really, really wants that dog. She is gorgeous.
I
But the
could
whole litter's like that.
I could take that little liver, which we call her chop liver. My wife just fell in love with her. She's probably gonna just have to stay here. Uh, but chop liver, we call her liver. You could take that dog and put her. I've got a liver and white German short hair at the house,
Uh huh.
and
Yeah.
I could take that pup out of the rest of the litter and move it over in I could put it in with my liver and white short hair, and I could sell that as a short hair puppy if I wanted to. I guarantee it. You can't tell an ounce looking at her.
For sure. For sure. Yeah. It just might show up when somebody crossed to her. Uh,
Yeah.
hey, we dude, we had a 4-way cross. She was a 4-way cross hound. So she was a quarter Walker, a quarter black and tan, a quarter plot, and a quarter red bone. And she was black and tan colored and houndy looking, very houndy looking. Uh, and was a treeing machine. She would tree coons like crazy, and we would find crippled deer with her and stuff like that. But she was a really good coon dog for pleasure, for what we did. And there's a man down the road. I can say his name now because he's passed. If he was still living, I would not dare say his name. His name was Wayne Talley. He's kind of a dog trader. Uh, I'm buddies with his boys. Anyway, so Wayne had a registered black and tan that wouldn't tree a thing, but she'd run deer. And so we swapped, and Wayne just put his papers on that black and tan that we had, and then sold her to somebody. Now, if she was bred to another black and tan, probably, most likely, all those pups were coming black and tan too. But there's a possibility that they throw something different. But it just it was and he sold her. Like I mean, he didn't have her a month and sold her. We had I had two Kimmer dogs at that time, and we bred a Kimmer to that black and tan dog. Her name was Roxy, I think. Rita. Her name was Rita, and we bred a, a full Kimmer. He was Brindle to her, and had a litter of pups. And I had one. The like my first squirrel dog that I tried to raise was a tree and cur, and it was Brindle. And we sold her to Wayne, and he put papers on her and sold her. Like what, dude? I sold her for like $100, and he turned around like a month later and sold her for 1,000. And which taught me something. It taught me something in squirrel dogs. Uh, you can't sell them for what you think they're worth. You you need to sell them for what the market value is.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought she was worth $100, and but the market value was 1,000. I was way off. But, and that's the only two dog dealings I ever had with uh with Mr. Talley. But he was but he taught me something with that. He come out good on both times, and but
Yeah, I'm sure he liked trading with you.
oh yeah, yeah. But hey, that black and tan we got from him, she would find a crippled deer, but if it was dead, like she'd quit it and just go on. She wouldn't stay with it. That I got my first Garmin because of her, because she'd just quit deer, and we used to find deer for us, and like my papa was old, and like he had us to find deer for him, so any deer that crossed the pipeline he shot. And sometimes he'd drop them, sometimes they'd run off, and uh, sometimes they'd have a leg shot off, sometimes they'd be dead. But he wouldn't even look for them anymore. He'd just wait for us to get home. We'd go put our dogs on it and go find it or whatever. But she was not, she wasn't tree good, and she didn't find deer that good. But I mean, she was okay, but not great. But so yeah, Wayne come out the better on both deals on the two dogs he got from us.
Yeah. Oh, hey, I was gonna ask you. I saw where you are one of the first NSD Hunt Director ambassadors. Is that something we can talk about on
Okay,
here?
yeah. So I didn't know if I was one of the first ones, but yes, I am. So the ambassador, you have to, and I might butcher this, so fact check me. But the ambassador, you need to host 6 hunts. 3 need to be division hunts. I'm in Louisiana. I really wish some more guys would host hunts in Louisiana, so we could have a state race. You have to have 5 division hunts in the NSD to have a state race. Uh, and I did have another fella that was hosting hunts, and it was great, but he didn't host last year, so and he didn't host the year before, so so I only hosted like 2 hunts or whatever, so we didn't have a state race. So the ambassador, you have to host 6 hunts. So I did 5 division hunts. You can't hold over 5. So I did 5 division hunts so we could have a state race in Louisiana, and did a puppy pro hunt. So with the ambassador, uh, your club, me, can't host more than, like, I can host other organizations, but I can't host more than 25%. So 75% of my hunts have to be NSD. If they're over that, you're really not an ambassador for NSD, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I like the USDC hunts. I've only been to one and did pretty well in it. I got reserve state champion. But there's just not that many around. And so my buddies over in Texas, they're starting to have a few. Uh, Bart up in LBK Bart Williams. He's I think they're going to hold a few, but there's just more. There's more NSD hunts around me, and like man, like the older my kids get, I have three young kids, and like they don't like me leaving the house. They like to be with me. I can't go to a hunt and carry my family. I've tried that before. Uh, I can't I can't focus on my dogs try to win and keep them entertained at the same time. Maybe when they get older, but so the NSD is just a better fit for me geographically, and because there's more hunts locally, and uh, and I like the rule set or whatever. So ambassador, 6 hunts a year, at least 75% of your hunts need to be NSD. Uh, with that, you get a tier three membership with the NSD. So like Jimmy just come out with the new website, and so you got tier one, which is the all the free stuff, and then you have tier two, which gives you some access to so many so many visits per day to the online pedigree and some other stats. I'm not a big stat guy when it comes to this stuff, and mainly like I guess if I was promoting a stud dog and he was about the NSD stats, he was 75% accurate or 82% accurate or whatever, I would throw that in there. Like I'd for sure use that for propaganda, but I'm just not a big stat guy when it comes to these hunts because just geographically where you're located, could be a huge factor on uh, the percentage of squirrels you have. You know, based on like how many squirrels are there and how many the accuracy of the dog, like how many squirrels are there and how many uh, you know circle trees are there. Depends on where you're at. Like we have leaves here. We have a bunch of squirrels, but we have leaves on the trees like 10 months out of the year. Like there's only like this year, I think there was 2 months that we didn't have leaves. So and our squirrels are wild. So that could be a big difference in accuracy based, you know, compared to like a dog in Indiana on some squirrels that do not timber. And that's I'm not saying squirrels in Indiana don't timber. I'm just like this is just the, like a fictitious
Mm-hmm. I hear you.
uh whatever. I can't even think of the word right now. Anyway,
Hypothetical.
yeah, hypothetical. That's the word. So it's a hypothetical situation. Like I'm not saying squirrels in Indiana don't timber. Just hypothetically, squirrels here, a lot of leaves. They're wild. The percentage here might not be as good as say in some other place up north. Where there's no leaves. The squirrels don't timber bad. You can spot the squirrel, whatever. So I'm just not big on the stats. But if if I was campaigning for something and my dog benefited from it, I would for sure use it. But the tier three, you get I don't know what all you get, but you get a bunch of stuff. Uh, and it's just a good fit for me, like in what I'm trying to do right now. So
Well, I will say, NSD seems like they've had it going on lately. They just announced that program. They announced a new quick update, basically a play-by-play
yeah,
app.
yeah,
And I litter registered that litter I've got a week or two ago, and I filled it out on on the app at like 11 o'clock at night, and by noon the next day they were sitting in my email inbox ready to print. So I don't know how
So
you get
that's
much faster than
amazing.
that. 13 hours.
Yeah,
13 or 14 hours
yeah,
was how long it took to process my puppy paper, which granted, both parents were already DNA registered with SD, so that was already all taken
yeah,
care of. But still, 13 or 14 hours to get paperwork back to litter register a litter. Pretty
yeah.
awesome.
Hey, dude, like what Jimmy does well, he does well. Like, and like he's kind of like a nerd. Like, and hey, that's not derogatory. So Jimmy, don't get mad at me. Like he's really, really good at coding and coming up with different ideas to make the system flow well. Uh, like so, like we're doing a thing where the dogs in the hunt, like every cast is drawn out digitally online,
Mm-hmm.
and like so there's no like you can't cheat now. Like you can't like mark a sticker and be like, I'm gonna pick that one. You can't do that. And um like co-ownership and all that stuff, that's already taken out of the equation. Like it filters through that automatically. And if you want to have a two dog final, it's got uh, a place for that. Or if you want to have a three dog final, it's got a place for that. So it's and then it breaks it all down and filters them out, and like it's really good. Like he's put in, I think he told me 300 hours into this new website that he just launched, and and you can tell like it's good. It's really good. Like so the NSD's the only one that's had an app, the only squirrel dog organization that's had an app for several years or whatever, and like now like it's it's taking it up a notch. Like it's on another level. Uh, you know, and I'm not saying like the NSD is like better than anything else, but the website and all that is way better than everybody's. Like it's three or four notches above everybody's.
Yeah, it's pretty
And
handy.
yes, and I'm just now starting to fool with it. Uh, but dude, it's nice. It I like it better now than ever. It's more user friendly too. Like the old app was not as user friendly as this. If you're on it every day, it might be different. But if you're on it, you know, a couple months out of the year, like you forget where things are and things like that. Uh, but this one's a lot better. I'm digging it. I really like it a lot. And like I like the junior stuff. And there's other organizations like the USDC's is just revamped their junior program, and which I think is fantastic. Like they let's say you're like me, and you procrastinate and don't get your paperwork done in time. Well, th- th- you have to pay a fine. There's a penalty fee, but you can still get your dog enrolled into the puppy program if the parents are enrolled and the pup you can get is not like so the parents are registered. The pup is not. You can get it. You can get it in the junior program and still be able to go to these junior hunts. I love the idea of junior hunts. I think it's a great way to promote your line of dogs, your family of dogs. You know, uh, like Mr. Merle Seeley, if you could mimic anybody in the squirrel dog world as far as a young puppy program, like he would be the guy you'd mimic. He's had a ton of success with his pups, and and like what he's doing, like he's got it going on. I don't know how many junior world champions they have, but it's a bunch. Um, yeah, if like if you wanna mimic somebody, mimic a program, mimic his. Like he's got it.
You mentioned that puppy pro hunt you were hosting. What's the
Mhm.
details on those? I don't know if I've heard of those yet. Is that a new thing?
So yeah, so there's you can host. I think there's like three different groups you can host. You can host the Division 1 or the Division 2 or a 24-month pro hunt or a open. So mine's just an open puppy pro hunt. So it's any dog that would be NSD registered that's eligible for the puppy program, uh, up to whatever the cutoff date is. What is it? 3 years
Mm-hmm.
by January 1st. But you can have like a puppy hunt, like 0 to 12, uh, or you could have like I guess 12 to 24, or you could do the full 36. So there's a couple different tiers of the puppy hunt pro hunt that you could do. I just did the open because uh I don't know whose young dogs are out there and what age they are and who would even come to it. Uh, but I'm hosting it on New Year's weekend, so we'll do a division hunt on what is it, the second, that Friday, or that might be the first. I can't remember. But like that Friday where most people would be off work, we're hosting the division hunt that day, and then that Saturday. So like if you come in for the hunt and you haul a dog and you got a young dog that you're gonna put in the hunt, you'd want him to be acclimated as long as he can. Like you might not want to drive in and put him in a hunt immediately. So the puppy hunt's the next day. So the puppy hunt's on a Saturday. So we're gonna do a division hunt on Friday and then a puppy pro hunt that Saturday.
Okay. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, the the puppy hunts are so if you have, let's say you have a young dog that's 16 months old that's really doing good, I would be very tentative to put that dog into an open hunt against, let's say, a 5-year-old tree monster. You know that's going to fly to that dog and tree obnoxiously right beside it, going nuts. Like you could set that dog back or create some bad habits. Um, you know, put in a bunch of those hunts where you don't have the ability to correct it at that time.
Mm-hmm.
You can, of course, let's say it does something bad and you withdraw the dog and you want to correct. Well, if you withdraw the dog to correct it, you don't like that correction period is over with. Like he don't even, if you went to scold him or whatever, he don't even know what he's getting scolded for. Like
Mm-hmm.
that happened 5 minutes ago. Like he's doing something different now.
You're getting
Uh,
scolded for being on your leash. At that point.
yeah, like yeah, right. Like he don't understand. Uh, so I don't like putting a young dog into the situations that I can't control. So with an older dog that knows some tricks, and so you know the puppy hunts you can, and some people with a young dog might be intimidated to go to an open hunt. It's like, well, man, those dogs are seasoned or whatever, and they are. Like it's a difference between a 6-year-old and a 16-month-old, a big difference. Now, there's I've had some really good young dogs, but there's a difference between that old dog and that young dog, especially in a competition hunt. So hunting, with the same age group of dogs that may probably won't have some of them bad habits and tricks and that could mess your dog up or whatever, uh, or just you know doesn't know the tricks on just making wood or whatever. Like I really like the aspect of hunting against your own age group. I think it's great. It's just like you wouldn't take a high school kid and put him in the NFL and expect for him to play at the level that those NFL players are playing from. Like you wouldn't expect uh, a 15-year-old kid to go to the to the major leagues and be able to to hit a fastball off of Paul Skeens. Like you just wouldn't expect that. Like they need to stay in in their own age group, or it's better to stay in your own age group and hunt against your own age. Uh, like there's a lot of benefit there, and you can really like probably I don't know all this, but you can probably develop a dog maybe a little better for competition, hunting them against their own age prior to hunting them against some older dogs. And like some people might be, just intimidated to go hunt against some older dogs. Where if they're hunting against, this other young no name dogs, like they might be more apt to do that. Uh, it's and I just I love young dogs anyway. Like it's I love the puppy hunts. I love everything about them. Whatever organization it is, I think it's a great deal to promote them young dogs.
I agree. Well, Shane, got anything else you want to talk about before we wrap this deal up?
Man, I can talk as long as you want. And you can cut out however much you want. I can keep going. It doesn't matter. We can do a part two, part five. It don't matter.
Well, it sounds
Uh,
good. Man, I've sure enjoyed talking with you. This is the first time we've ever actually talked. Was uh, right before
yeah,
this interview. So
I had my Cotton Valley Latte, which is a type of bulletproof coffee, a concoction that I've made, and I get a little chatty with it. So I apologize for not letting you talk much.
hey,
Um,
that's the way my shows go. I'm not supposed to talk that much, so that's perfect.
okay, well, uh, if you ever want me back on, just let me know. I'll make another pot of coffee and we'll take off.
Sounds good. We'll plan on it. Uh, now you have to. I'll be looking for them dates. I'd like to get down there and make it 20 guys hunts.
Yeah, hey, dude, they're already posted. I'm having a hot hunt, which will be the last weekend in September. Then I'm doing one in December after the WMA opens back up. I think it's December 19th. I think. Um, Hang on, I'll tell you. Let's see. Hang on one second. Yeah. So it's State Line Tree Dog Association. We're having a hot hunt on September 26th. The next one would be after the WMA opens back up for squirrel dogs. It'll be December 19th. We're doing the uh, January 1st hunt. That's on a Friday. That's a division hunt. And then the following Saturday on the 2nd, that's going to be our junior pro dog. And then January 16th, and then we're doing the state hunt on January 23rd. So almost every weekend in January, we'll be doing a hunt. And we're doing the Plussed Up Cup, which is the team hunt. We're doing it in Hazen on the last weekend in January.
Did you guys get all the details worked out on that?
We're getting it. Matter of fact, right before uh, you and me got on here, I was talking to Cody about it. Uh, it's going so we for sure we already have the venue booked. We're for sure having it in Hazen. We're for sure going to have it the last weekend in January. That Friday will be like a banquet type deal where we introduce the teams. And we have something really special planned for that. So we'll introduce the teams. We'll draw out all three rounds because it's not an elimination type hunt. So we'll draw out all three rounds to begin with. So you'll see what dogs are matched up where. then we'll do a Calcutta, and we're like the Saturday morning we'll have a round, and then we'll come in, tally up the scores. First place will get so many points. Or no, let me back up. The cast winner, your first in your cast will get so many points. The second in the cast will get so many points, and the third in so many cast, or the third will get so many points in that cast. We come in, we tally up the scores. So uh, it's already drawn out. You know who you're gonna hunt against that afternoon. We'll have a lunch, probably some kind of a raffle and door prizes and whatnot. We're starting to get some items donated to us for sponsorships, and so we'll have some sort of door prize raffle or something at lunch, and and it'll be catered to. So uh, I think we're going to do a breakfast and a lunch, and then we'll go out for for the evening round, and each round's going to be sponsored as well. So like let's say Slick Tree Podcast sponsors a round. So this is the Slick Tree Podcast round, and then this is this round, and then this is this round. So the final, so we'll do a Saturday evening hunt. Come back. You know, if you got first in your cast, that's so many points. Second in your cast, that's so many points. Third in your cast, so many points. Add it up to your team score. We post that. Uh, I imagine Saturday evening, everybody will go get something to eat somewhere and probably eat together or whatever, you know, because and this it's a competition, but it's also about fellowship too. Then Sunday morning we'll do the the third round. Uh, Come back, tally up the scores, have them all lined up. Whoever wins the plus up cup will get and it's a cup. A silver cup. Like I mean, like it's like you can drink beer out of it or whatever. Like I mean, it's a cup, and and then they get however much money, you know, however many teams that comes in will be, the winnings will be based off that. But we're anticipating at least 10 teams.
Nice.
So let's say you get 10 teams. First place gets you know a percentage, say 60% or something. Then second place gets 20%, and then or whatever, and then or maybe I don't know. We don't know how all that's going to be worked out. So like it's probably going to be an 80-20 payout. So we'll take 20% to pay for everything. Like we can't lose money on the thing. Like we can break even. I'm cool with breaking even, but all the work that goes into put on a big hunt, uh, like we we just can't come out of pocket. Like
Oh, I
we
get
have
it.
to break even.
I get it.
Uh, and we're shooting to make some money. Like we're shooting to make some money and give back. Like we want to give back. If we have enough sponsorship, we'll give back 100%. It's just we have to pay for the venue and the catering and the trophies and all this stuff because that stuff is not cheap. Uh, like these trophies are expensive, but they'll be worth it. Like we want to put on the biggest hunt in the country. Uh, and it's something different. It's a team event. There's no one else in. There's no other organization doing a teamed event, and like it could be something special. Now we're not. I don't want to compete with other organizations. Like that's not what this is. This is just a fun hunt that that could be. It could be very prestigious. Like if you have like, let's say, Team Big Creek or Team Woody or whatever, like you have the Perkins here with with their stock of dogs, representing, like Woody or maybe that it might be a Team Woody where it's just all Woody offspring on this one team, or it might be Team Big Creek with like Like, wouldn't that be cool? Have Josh Perkins, John Perkins, and Michael Perkins on the same team? Like, and I don't even know if they're interested in it. I'm just saying, wouldn't that'd be a hell of a team?
Would be.
Uh, uh, and like you could rank them like that might be the number one team, pound for pound, the number one team. Uh, and then uh, like you have Team Showstopper, Team Mississippi, Team whatever. It could be sponsored teams. Like the USDC could sponsor a team, and they're representing the USDC. They have three, you know, hammers from the USDC, maybe the three top dogs in the USDC on one team, and they're representing the USDC, and then you have the WTDA, and they're representing their organization, and then you have Team NSD or whatever. You could have, there's a lot of different combinations you could get, or you could have Team Feist where there's three Feist guys, or there's there might be a hound, a cur, and a Feist on one team, or there might be three hounds on a team. How about that? How about Team Hound, and or whatever. Like the sky's the limit on this thing. Like it could be a lot of fun, and it's not full elimination, so you don't go home if you get beat.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can still be a super contributing factor to your team, even if you get third place. You could be, or you get second place or whatever. You could be a huge contributor to your team by your placement.
Or is the scoring just going to be off placement of the casts, or is there going to be any
Yes.
Is there could be like a side pool for like the team that pluses the most squirrels?
100%. 100%. We can there's a ton of stuff we can do in that direction. And I'm actually talking to somebody. I had a phone conversation with him early this morning about possibly doing something like that. And so they would even get championship points for winning that hunt. So like each round would be its own separate hunt, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they would get points going to their organization because of that or whatever.
That wouldn't incentivize going for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But and there's just so many things that's not quite set in stone yet. But the venue's set and the date is set, and the trophies are set, and they are super pimp. Like you'll be able to get to hold it up. You can put money in it. You could, carry it to the strip club and throw money and drink beer out of it if you wanted to. Like there's a lot of and it would and sitting on your mantle or sitting in your trophy room or whatever, it's going to look totally different than any other trophy you got in there.
Now
Like
does
any
the
other
winning
flag,
team get 3 cups, or do they have to share a
yes.
cup?
Well, we thought about that too, and I like the idea of having one big, expensive cup. So just like the Stanley Cup, or just like an NBA championship or whatever, they get one trophy. But that's for the organization to show off. Well, this is just a put together team. Like there's not like a whole bunch of teams in Score Dogs.
Mm-hmm.
But like LBK, that would be a team. They could put it at whatever, the LBK hideout or whatever. They could put it there. But most people don't have that. So it would be, and if it was me, I'd want a replica. I'd want to order one. So we're doing 3 separate trophies. So the winning team each one would get a cup. And then the second place teams will get some kind of award. It will not be a cup though.
Okay.
And third place same. It just like they'll get something, some kind of award, so you can have it and hold it and put it on your mantle or whatever. But it will not be a cup. It might have a cup pitcher, the cup pitcher, but it won't be the Plus Up Cup. The Plus Up Cup is for the champions, is for the winner, and they are super cool.
Gotcha. Well,
And
go ahead.
yeah, we're pretty pumped about that. I think it could turn out like, and it's not a series, but it could turn out to be a whole series, a whole different league could be a teamed event.
Yeah, it's definitely
No,
sounds like a fun format.
I think so. You don't know until you try, and uh, and like I I've got some good ideas, but I need some help, and Cody's got some great ideas, but like he keeps me lined out, like he's more organized than I am, and but I'm a good enough buddy that I wouldn't let him down. So if it was just me and I planned this out, I might would pull out, like before the first of the year. But uh, if I have some help, and I'm part of something, like there's no way I could let you down. So like we we complement each other, and man, I think this could be a really really fun deal. It could be a big deal, and hey, we might do it one time and then turn it over to somebody else, let them go run with it. Uh, you know, but it could be something really special, and I don't think we're going to cap it either. Um, like so, where we're at can house a lot of dogs, and if we have 20 teams, even better. That's more money to win.
Mm-hmm. Well, Shane, we've been on here for a little over an hour and a half since we actually
Is that
started.
all?
Yeah. Well, it's
Is that all?
well,
Yeah.
been an
It
hour
seems like
50 since we
15.
started talking.
Dude, it seems like it's been 20 minutes.
Well, once again, man, I've really enjoyed talking to you, and we'll do this
I enjoyed it
again.
too.
We'll do this again. Uh, Real quick, tell people how to
Yeah,
find your
I got
podcast.
I got more to say. Uh,
Let's hear it.
yeah. So of course we're on social media. We're on Facebook. You can go to Plus Up on Facebook, but we're on Spotify and YouTube. So our main platform is YouTube because we go live. And like in business, you want to be the only or the best. Well, like there's a ton of, like I say a ton. There's several good podcasts out there, like Squirrel Dog podcast. There's several good, like really good, and it's not like we're competing against anybody. We want you on our podcast too. So, if you pick up some of our listeners, it's not like they're going to quit listening to us and start listening to you.
Right.
Like it grows the whole community. Uh, but like y- so we do live stuff. We're one of the few that goes live, and sometimes it's great, and sometimes it's not great. Uh, we have technical difficulties because you know, we're not podcasters. We're, squirrel hunters that have jobs and families, and so like as far as the technical side of it, we're not that good. So we have issues every week, but uh, but it's also we get to interact with people that get on there. So get on Facebook. We normally go 6:30 to 8 o'clock or so, or 8:30, or sometimes 9. Who knows? Uh, Sometimes we get on at 7. It just depends on how much technical difficulty we're having. But we go live every Wednesday. Usually we try to we here lately we've been trying to hit 6:30. Uh, Log in to YouTube. Like YouTube's free. You need like to get you an account. It doesn't cost you anything. Get on YouTube, and then you can comment on there. You can talk crap to us and uh, chime in uh, with great topics, and answer some questions for us, because we go in shooting from the hip a lot of times. Uh, so we might ask some questions that that we don't know the answers to, and we rely on the community to tell us and help us out. But it's a fun time and a good listen. And if you don't have anything going on Wednesday evenings, jump on and chime in and be a part of something.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to listen to it live yet. I always usually end up listening to it while I'm driving down the road or something else or working. But I do enjoy listening to it after the fact.
Well, thank you. We enjoy listening to yours. Like I love you, like the guest you have. Like I really, really, really like the one with Mr. Merle Seeley.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was a great
Like
guest.
it was great. Yeah.
All right, well, I guess we'll go ahead and jump off here. But I'll be in touch with Shane. We'll talk some more. And everybody else out there, take care and keep wearing out that boot leather. I just want to give everyone that's listening a sincere thank you. Getting this podcast going has been a project. I really hope you're enjoying it, and if you don't mind, give the show a good rating and review wherever you're listening to it at, or share it on your social media to help get some traction. I appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to your feedback.